Morning, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of It's a Matter of Fact. I'm Matt, and I have a good buddy with me.
Ohayo gozaimasu. It's me, Gavin.
It's Gavin! Gavin GL. Shadow X Drift, but he's not called Shadow X Drift anymore.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Long time. So, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm that guy that makes jokes and rants on the internet and occasionally streams on Twitch. So we'll go ahead and get things started with work-related shit, and I'm glad I didn't tell you about what happened at work a few days ago.
Here we go.
Okay, so, dude, tell me why. Tell me why. Also, I've been sick as a dog for like the last month, so sorry for any coughing you'll hear.
That's true. The other day, when you were on, or last week or whenever it was, I tried to get you to sing the,
oh, hey.
What's going on? Yeah.
I still can't do it. What's going on? I still can't do it. Oh my god!
Jesus Christ.
We were busy as fuck because I'm assuming people knew that we were closed on Easter. So, the bullshit returns, man. Like, people out. I've said this before too. It's like people just keep returning our shit, thinking like we're a fucking pawn shop. It's like, hey, I bought this from you. It doesn't like if it's like headphones. It's like, hey, one of the ears don't work. I'll be like, okay, we have defective shit, whatever. But the fact that I have one, like, we're busy as fuck. Like, I'm ringing. We're busy if I'm ringing. And one lady at another register was, she bought, like, a small little knife. I'm trying to think of something I'd say it's about the length of a deodorant stick. And it's bent the fuck up. It was on clearance for $1.49. And she was like,
Did
hey.
It happen to be red? Have some red on it.
Actually, not on the knife, but the handle was red. Damn, I should
not want to take that back. That might be evidence.
Yeah, it might be evidence. It was, she was like, hey, she was like, I tried to return this and your cashier said no. And I saw it, I was like, oh, well, ma'am, it's bent. We can't take it back. Why not? Well, our store policy... Keep in mind, I'm ringing while I'm explaining this shit. Our return policy is, any item that you return has to be new and unused. Well, I used it and you see what happened. And I'm like, yeah. That's why you can't take it back. It's like... That's the whole point of returns is like, hey, you give us back what you didn't want, you get money, we put it back on the shelf, and someone else buys it. We can't put a bent fucking knife on a damn shelf.
It's like if you go back to a GameStop after you've just bought a game, and you bring them like a broken disc, like it's split in two.
Like, hey, man, I tried this disc, I played for like 50 hours, and it fucking broke.
It doesn't work for some reason. And they're like, what?
Oh my god, I can only imagine the return bullshit that GameStop has to deal with. I can only fucking imagine. Excuse me. So, and then she had the nerve to say, well, it's defective. And I'm just thinking like, yeah, you made it fucking defective. Like, you're trying to cut off a fucking tree with a fucking pocket knife. It's just like, because I posted this on Facebook. It's like, I don't, like, these people are getting dumber and dumber, and, like, these people are, like, older than me. I'm like, bro, you've been on planet Earth 20 years longer than I've been. Like, you were graduating high school by the time I was walking. You can't be this stupid. And the lady just kept going on and on. It's defective. I can't use it. No one can use it. It's fucking bent. Like you chewed on it. Because it was bent in like 3 different ways. It was like bent to the left, bent to the right, bent to the left. Like, bitch, I don't know what the fuck you were trying to do with it, but...
Don't you just wish you could see what she did to that?
I'd really love to.
Like, not ask, because she probably would not give you a correct answer.
Yeah.
But, like, if you could just, like, just fucking play God for a second. Just rewind.
Like, ma'am, like the customer I was thinking, ma'am, I'll be right back. Just roll my eyes back.
You go back, you see what she did with it, and you're just like, what the fuck?
She tried to fuck a pumpkin with it.
I'm convinced she tried to kill someone.
Probably. And it was $1.49 on clearance. That alone should say, hey, be careful with this fucking knife.
You know, I've never, my family's definitely like a family that, you know, if things are cheaper, we'll go for the cheaper things. But we also realize that you get what you pay for. That's a very true statement. But there are people out there who don't get that. And they think...
I don't understand.
They think if something's cheaper or because it's on sale... They're like, oh my god, it's going to be like really high quality. It's like, there's probably a reason for that.
Yeah.
You know? There's probably like, that's when I would love to like pull that person aside and be like, you know, there's probably a reason that thing is like $1. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Yeah, like what the fuck? She trying to cut up like a fucking steak or something, then it's just fucking...
And bent it the fuck up. Oh, it bent. Let me try again. Oh, let me try it one more time. I'm gonna return this.
Right.
Excuse me. Because we get fucking people like that all the time. Like, we'll literally have people, especially if I work back-to-back shifts, there'll be people I see buying like an all-white outfit, white shoes and shit, and return it the next day. All dirtied the fuck up. Like, dude, this isn't rent-a-fucking outfit. Dude, shoes are like the absolute fucking worst because people will just argue. And of course, they all say the same thing. I just wore it for a day!
Right.
What'd you do, play in the fucking mud for that day? Especially with shoes. These were like these when I bought them. And I'm like, no, because all of our stores have that policy where like, hey, we don't return used shoes. At all. Like, I don't know why people keep thinking, like, I'm just going to return back this dirty-ass product. It's even worse, too, when people fucking wash it. Don't even stick it in the dryer for, like, 10 minutes. Like, the shit will still smell like fabric softener and or whatever, bleach, whatever they use on their clothes. And it will just reek of it. And they'll be like, oh, I washed it. It's not dirty. I can return it. It's like, no. Like...
Do you get people, you've probably told me, but do you get people a lot of the times that they'll buy something, like, is there other Burlingtons near you?
There's 4 locations.
So do you have people that go to the other ones, buy something, and then try to return it at your place? Like, because you're different people. So they think they can get away with it.
Absolutely. Or, like, it's kind of like, I mean, like, we get returns from, like, because, you know, some people will be like, oh, yeah, I came to return this here because, you know, I was in the area or I live closer to this area. That happens all the time. But, yeah, there's a lot of times where someone will buy something from, like, the area that's near the Las Vegas Strip. They'll tell them, like, hey, I want to return this. And they're like, no, this is, like, dirty. Fuck off. Then they'll come all the way to our store. We tell them no. Well, I just drove all the way down here. I'll tell you one good story I don't think I told you about. There was a guy who, like, I can't, let me give out, like, a good description. He said, like, 10 miles. That's probably an exaggeration from the guy, but he says he took an Uber to return some pants. Pants are all fucked up, especially like at the bottom where you could see that they probably like went under his shoes and he scuffed the fuck out of the bottoms. You can obviously tell that they've been worn for quite a while. And we told him no, and he's like, "This bullshit. Y'all need to reimburse me for my Uber ride. I had to take an Uber up here." And I'm like, well, dude, fucking that's not my fucking problem. And on top of it, what makes things even worse is that if they bring back clothes that are like completely fucked up and they don't have a receipt, they don't have any proof of purchase, and the ticket's not on the item. And when we tell them no, I just want to exchange. I don't want money. Like people don't understand the concept. It's like, it's not the fact that like you're getting money. Even just exchanging, like you're getting something free from us, even if it's just an exchange. That's almost as bad as you getting money back for some shit that you ruined. Like, I don't see the big deal. It's just an exchange. Like that, we might as well be giving you fucking money. But just store credit, that's still fucking money. And like all these excuses, like I've told you, I've had multiple fucking people make these exact same excuses. I just want to exchange. I just tried it on. It's even worse with kid shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Like not like, 12, 13, like fucking like 5, 7-year-old kid shoes. My kid just went to the grandmother's. And why the fuck does every return have to come with a fucking story? Like they have to come with a background. Like, hey man, I want to return these shoes. See, I went to the pizza place the other day. Like, dude, I don't fucking care. Why does everything a customer returns have to have a fucking backstory?
I think because they know you won't take it, so they have to give you a reason to maybe persuade you.
No, I'm a fucking robot when it comes to returns. Our return policy states, we care.
Initiate policy sequence. Yeah.
Oh man, it's really good too when people want to be like, especially people that are like, it's worse when it's old people because they'll be like, I've worked in retail for 80-something years. I'm like, well, first of all, our return policy has changed since 1975, sir. Second of all, one guy tried to come back by bringing another store involved. Like, well, at Walmart, I'm like, first of all, dude, at Walmart, their return policies are way fucking stricter than ours. They would have laughed at you and told you to go fuck yourself. Not to mention their return line is always fucking long, and they only have one line. So, don't try to compare us to fucking Walmart.
Also, you don't go in the one store and bring up another store's return policy because that's so irrelevant.
It's super like, okay, and?
Right, like, that's not how I don't know. That's like going into someone else's house and being like, and like they want you to take your shoes off. And you're like, man, what the fuck? I don't take my shoes off in my house. It's like, yeah, because it's your house. You're not in your house anymore.
You're comparing apples to oranges, my friend. But it's really good, too, when people try to use our policy against us. Because, like, originally our store used to be okay with, like, okay, you don't have your proof of purchase, but you have the ticket, it's still in good shape, we'll use your ID. And, like, the system will scan. But it's like, hey, if you scan your ID too many times, eventually the system's going to be like, okay, yeah, you've done too many returns with your ID, denied.
Right.
But, like, it's gotten down to the point to where we've had so many fucking scammers abuse that shit. Like, we've had cashiers return shit that we don't even fucking sell because the ticket was missing, but they it was like, oh, these pants look good, return. Or like one good one too has been someone buys like I don't know, like let's just say like a pair of shoes from like Target. The exact same description of an item that's on the receipt. And they return it to our store, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, the ticket fell off." And the cashier looks at the receipt, and they look at the shoes. They're like, "Oh yeah, size 8. All right, here, have a good one." And it's like, "Hey, you got scammed, man. We don't even sell these shoes." So it's like, because of that, now like it's like, hey, you return some, but the ticket has to be attached, and we can't use your ID anymore. And a lot of times people will be like, "Well, it says your policy with the ID," and I'm like, "Sir or ma'am, like we've had so many people abuse that policy. Corporate said we can't do it anymore."
I'd have literally killed someone by now if I worked there.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised I haven't killed. Actually, there's like 10 bodies buried under the store. I just haven't told anybody.
No, that makes sense.
It's like, just working in customer service in general nowadays, it's like you don't know if these people are like just plain fucking dumb, or they're just trying to take advantage of us being busy and just thinking like, "Oh well, it's super busy." They might just say, "Oh yeah, return it and tell me to fuck off. I'll still get my money back though." So it's like, I don't know.
I think it happens a lot is people. Well, first, there's definitely people that stupid out there. But I think there are definitely a lot of people that and this isn't just customer service, but I feel like it would happen a lot there. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there who act dumb, and they want like a certain response or to get a certain thing, and then when they don't, they get like fucking extremely mad.
Yep.
Knowing what they're doing is fucking stupid. But they gotta stick to their story. They gotta stick to like this like fucking character they're putting on to try and get you to like bend to their way or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. I've seen that a lot.
Dude, I gotta tell you this story too that I heard, and I'm surprised one of our I'm not gonna say any names, only because like God only knows who's listening to this. But I'll tell you that one of our cashiers closed a few days ago. And we've taught our cashiers to, like, hey, you have to bag certain things first. Like, hey, if there's big stuff, scan that first. And then, get all the clothes on the register, scan each one. And then, as they're paying, take the sensors off and bag it and shit. And the number one rule for, at least that I know of, is that one of the number one rules you should always follow is, don't hand the customers bags until they paid. Or like, if they already have their money out, set the bags on the counter, because it's obviously they're not just gonna like put the money back in their pocket and fucking run out the store. But like, don't hand them the bags until they're paying. Mm-hmm. This one cashier during the closing shift, because one of the other people told me about it, is that God, I wish I closed that night. That would have been so good for me to see. Is that, I guess, it was 2 women, and I guess they asked the cashier, like, they bought like a whole cart full of shit. And I guess they were, they put everything on the counter, cashier scanning, and they're like, okay, this is enough items, let me bag this stuff up. They asked the cashier to like, "Oh, yeah, can I get the stuff? Can I get the stuff?" "Oh, yeah, sure." Started handing bags of stuff over to them. They haven't paid yet. To the point to where their cart was full, but there was still stuff on the counter that the cashier was scanning. They fucking walked off with all from what I was told, it was like $1,000 worth of clothes. Pushed the cart, and then, the cart locks at our door. So they got to the door, grabbed all the bags, and didn't run, but they walked from the front end to the door, grabbed the bags, and proceeded to walk out. No running, no panicking, nothing. Just this do-do-do-do-do. They're out the door. The cashier, not even paying attention, is still fucking scanning shit. I saw the camera footage. 2 minutes later, a whole 2 minutes of just scanning and still bagging. By the time the cashier fills up the bag, looks up, and does these. What?
It's like a fucking cartoon.
It was like fucking Wile E. Coyote setting up and looks up, and then all he sees is the fucking smoke from the Roadrunner because he fucking ran. $1,000 worth of shit, and I was like, that's why we tell cashiers. By now, everyone already knows about it, so that's when we got with all the cashiers saying, like, see, this
How
is...
did you not notice that, though?
Fucking head was down while he was scanning!
Still, that's crazy.
So by the time when everyone heard about it, we got all the cashiers together, so like, see, this is why we tell you guys, do not hand the customers the bags until they pay. So, from what I've heard, that cashier is going to be investigated by, like, the head of loss prevention and shit to make sure it wasn't, like, an inside job by family members or some shit.
It's like some conspiracy theory shit.
Yeah, and, like, keep in mind, this cashier is new, and when you're new, you're on super probation. And in the state of Nevada, it's a right-to-fire state, so it's kind of like, you know, you fucking sneeze on a customer, they have the right to fire you. For like fucking nothing. So we'll see.
Exciting news for Matt's work.
Yeah, Matt's work.
Every day.
So I can't wait to fucking leave that fucking hellhole.
Always something new.
Yeah, there's always something fucking new. Dude, yesterday was the longest day of my fucking life. Like, and I'm only saying it was long because I haven't worked an 8.5-hour shift since, like, Christmas. All the other days have been, like, you know, 6 hours, 7 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. But that yesterday, God, it went by so fucking slow. But thank God that last 40 minutes flew by. And then my boss was like, Matt, you don't want to get overtime, time to go. I'm like, I dropped everything. I was like, okay.
Did you ever do that thing... or maybe you still do, where I say did you because I did this in school, so I guess we'll use school as the example, but you could do it in any situation, work, fucking anywhere. Like say you leave work at like 3 p.m., right? Mm-hmm. And it's like fucking 11 a.m., and you're like looking at the clock, and it's like 11:30, and you're like, okay, 11:30. That means if I break this down,
if I wait 15 more 10 minutes. Yeah, I do.
You're like, this is 2 15-minute periods. Okay, that's a lot less than 30.
Yeah, I totally fucking do that.
You like break it down, even though like it's the same amount of time no matter what. Yeah, I used to do that, just like staring at the fucking clock. That's always a weird thing how that works. Like,
yeah,
time, you know, they say like time flies when you're having fun, and then time is like super slow when you're like bored or you're like somewhere you don't want to be, like
yeah,
or like school or whatever. That's so weird. But like, what's crazy about it is, and this is obvious, like, you know, I'm not gonna say this and people are gonna be like, holy shit. Time, it doesn't matter. It's always the same. You know, it goes by the same amount of time, no matter what. But it is really weird how, like, you know, if I'm fucking like you know, I went to the Dream Theater concert or the show. I saw them last week, and that flew, like, they played 2 parts because they have like extremely long songs. And part 1, they started, and all I remember is the start of the second song and then it being done. And I was like, what the fuck happened? But it's just like, I was just so sucked into it, and it was like mesmerizing to watch them play. And, you know, just like, though that time flew by. And they played like 2.5 hours, I think. And, you know, it feels like 5 minutes. It's just like instantly gone. It's like, it's crazy. But like, that almost makes me, I almost want to start going to these fun events and being like, I hate this isn't fun. Just so it's
so time purposely goes by. You can bend the wheel of time if you pretend that you're bored.
It's all like a mindset thing.
Yeah, it is.
You're at a concert and you're like, this is boring. I want to go home. It's like, oh shit, this concert.
Then you look at your watch, you're like, yes, it's working. Yeah, when you think about it, like, you can't bend the wheel of time. It's just like you said. It's just it's a brain thing.
I think what happens is.
Shut up, laptop.
I think when you're having fun, like we'll use that as an example because we all know, like, if you're having fun playing a new game or you're out with friends or something, that time flies when you do those things. I think what happens is it's just because you don't look at the time. I think that's all it is. Whereas if you're bored or you're at work or school and you want to go home, I feel like you're more prone to, like, pull out your phone and see the time or look at a clock and you're like, fuck, this is so slow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all it is. Because, like, at least for me, I don't know. Maybe other people are different. But when I'm out, like, with Adam or Adrian, like, say me and Adam are going to the movies or me and Adrian are going to a concert, I don't ever once look at the time until we're going back home. Because why? Like, why worry about it? You know, I'm having fun. I'm with a friend. Who cares what fucking time it is? But, like, if I was on the way to, like, a fucking doctor's appointment, I'd be like, oh, motherfucker, dude. And I'm, like, looking at the time, and I'm like, all right, when's this going to be over? You know? So, I think it's just, like, a matter of, like, looking at your phone or something.
Agreed. Excuse me. Ugh. Had a coughing habit. Ugh. All right. I'm trying to think. What else is...
I might actually be seeing Breaking Benjamin again.
Oh, nice. When are they coming?
They'll be in Virginia in August. Oh, I didn't tell you. So, wow. Okay. This is like a packed 2 days. I don't know for sure if I'm going to the Breaking Benjamin one. And I guess I don't know for sure if I'm going to Game Grumps live or not. Because Adam, we talked about it, but he didn't say anything about it yet. But I talked to Adrian, and I was like, to those who don't, if anyone watches it and they don't know, Adrian and Adam are like two of my best friends. I talked to Adrian, I was like, hey, do you want to go to the Breaking Benjamin show by any chance? And they're like with 3 Days Grace and Chevelle, I think. He was like, yeah, we could get like lawn tickets or something, which I've never actually been to a show and got lawn tickets just because it's so far back, but I get why we would. It's like, we save money pretty much. Like, we went to 2 Avenged Sevenfold shows. He goes to a lot more than I do. Like, he's going to this like music festival in like Ohio or some shit. I want to see Saint Osonia this year. Apparently they're going to tour again, which is I'd probably spend more money, so it'd be good to only get lawn tickets for the Breaking Benjamin one. But so that's on the 22nd of August. Game Grumps Live is on the 21st. So, and like, I don't know, to a normal person, this would be like, oh, that's so cool. And it still is for me. But my problem is sleep. I'm worried about this because the Game Grumps Live, I don't remember when it starts, but I feel like I'm not going to get much sleep beforehand. We're going to go to DC, see them. Luckily, though, that's not like a concert or anything. It's more like laid back. It's basically like a comedy act, essentially, versus, you know, obviously like a band. Yeah, none of that. But I'm sure we'll get back like relatively late, and then I just like, even after the Dream Theater show, we got back at like 12:30, and I just couldn't go to sleep. And I was like, man, fuck, I was so tired in the car. And as soon as I stepped in my house, I was like, yahoo, I'm awake. I don't know why. I was just like so awake, and I couldn't go to sleep. So I'm hoping that after the Game Grumps Live show, I can go to sleep and then go to the concert. because I would hate to go to a concert tired. And if we're in the lawn, it's going to be a lot less, like, loud in our ears, so it'll be more like I'd be more tired because I'm not, like, more in it, if that makes sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you're closer, you're standing up, your ears are getting blasted out. It's a lot less, it's a lot more, like, it'll keep you awake.
Right.
Oh, speaking of that, the crazy thing, dude, when we saw Dream Theater, they play loud as fuck, by the way. And we were in the Warner Theater, which is pretty small, so, like, no matter where you were, you're pretty close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you're up balcony or the bottom, in the back, you're still pretty close compared to, like, a concert in the lawn. Because the lawn is, like, way the fuck out. It's, like, not even in the stadium, you know? It's, like, outside, pretty much. But, so Dream Theater's loud as fuck. We were in the upper balcony, right behind the VIP seats. And so, like, they're playing loud as fuck. Like, after part one, I couldn't even hear anything. I don't wear earplugs. Adrian does, but I don't. I think he gets headaches though if he doesn't. So I guess that makes sense. I don't. I'm like totally fine. I just like go deaf for like a minute, which probably that's not a good thing. But I should wear earplugs. But you know what's crazy? They're playing so loud that, you know, I'm like partially deaf after. I'm like, it's super fucking loud. It's like insanely loud. And I'm over here in the seat fucking doing that thing where your eyes are closed and you have to like jump back up because you're like falling asleep.
Yeah.
I was so fucking tired because, like I said, what I was saying with the Game Grumps and Breaking Benjamin back to back, I didn't sleep that much the night before because I usually sleep. I'm like vampire hours. I sleep during the day, awake at night, and obviously the show's during the day. And like I was just like fucking falling. Like I didn't actually like fall asleep or anything, of course. But I was like, this is crazy to me that if I really wanted to, no matter how loud they're playing right now, if I could lay down on the floor, I guarantee I could fall asleep, and I'd be fine. Like I feel like that's not a good thing. Cause like sometimes, dude, there's some like loud ass thunder or something. Like not too long ago, like a lot of the East Coast had really bad storms, and like Maryland had like tornado watches and shit. A lot of East Coast places did. We didn't have like tornado warnings or watches. Not where I live. Virginia might have, like Virginia Beach, but we had a really bad thunderstorm though, and in the middle of the night, I was awake for this, so I guess this is a bad example, but there was like a loud fucking crack of thunder that was like, it shook the house pretty much.
Oh, shit.
Just, you know, fucking, and the house, like, it shook a little, and my mom, like, woke up immediately. She got scared. She thought it was like a gunshot or something. And I just know if I was asleep during that, I wouldn't have even shook. I would have just... Like, that's crazy. I feel like I can sleep through anything. But I feel like that's not a good thing. Because I've always had this weird thought in the back of my head, like, what if someone fucking broke in while I'm asleep and they could just come in my room?
Like they just bust down the door.
I honestly don't think I'd wake up. But I think the reason why I'm like that is because I sleep with noise on, and I think my body's just like, it blocks out the noise while I'm asleep. It's like, oh, whatever, that's normal. Because, you know, I'll have like not let's plays, I guess, like streams, I should say. I'll have like a stream up or a fucking podcast or something, or music. So then, like, I guess your brain just gets used to it, and it's like, it actually, I don't know if you're like this, but it feels weird to sleep without noise of some kind.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like I have to have something like in the background when I sleep.
Yeah, like I have trouble sleeping with no like, and for me at least, it has to be some sort of like talking.
Yeah.
Like some people I know can sleep to like rain noises and ocean sounds and stuff, but to me it has to be like talking. And what I do is I turn it down kind of low to the point where it's like you can't really hear it too well, but it's loud enough you can understand it. But then that point where you're kind of dozing off, it becomes like it starts to sound like the fucking Charlie Brown parents, just like, and then you just kind of like fade off.
Why is my cat meowing? Hey, why are you meowing?
Simon.
Wow. He's just standing in the middle of the kitchen, moving it, whipping his head around. Wow, wow, wow. I'm like, alright, I don't know what the fuck you want. I don't know what that means. You got food, you got water.
Maybe he sees a ghost.
And he probably sees a ghost.
Get a fucking spirit.
Dude, I've been trying for like, I don't know, how old am I? I'm 29. I've been trying for like the last 10 years trying to find a fucking ghost to appear in front of me, and I've been very unsuccessful. You hear this shit?
What? Your cat?
Yeah.
No, I can't hear it on Discord.
Let me see what the shithead's doing. Hey! You want to be on this matter of fact, MATTtheFUNNYman? Come here. Alright, everyone. My next guest, he's had his own video. Simon Takes on Laser Pointer. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Belmont. Say hi, Simon. Hey, buddy.
I can't say I've ever... Well, except for when I was little. But who knows if that was real, you know what I mean? As you're a kid.
There you go. Look out the window.
My mom claims she sees stuff, but she also... Not to get too into it, if she's not on her medication, she's kind of like... So...
My mom was the same way.
But that's how it goes, though. Is like people like that act that way, and you don't believe them, and then like your fucking neck gets snapped by a ghost, and you're like, oh fuck, ghosts are real the whole time.
Like a fucking pole penetrated your abdomen, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Should have believed her.
I've been trying to get Prisha to do a Bloody Mary video, and she won't fucking do it. But yeah, and here's the thing: she won't do Bloody Mary. But, because I showed her, like, I think it was like a month ago, I was, like, showing her, like, a bunch of ghost shit. Because I'm weird and I'm into that kind of stuff. Is that, she saw a video when I was at work of, like, the official rules of the Midnight Man game. She said she wants to fucking do that.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
And she's like, oh, honey, we should do that, and you film it. And I'm like... You do realize that the Midnight Man game is a 3.5 hour fucking game. I'm not fucking recording 3.5 hours worth of fucking footage. And then nothing happened.
Yeah.
Or if something does happen, I'm not getting pulled to another dimension for it.
I mean, you know my, like, beliefs on this stuff.
Yeah.
But, the one thing that always did weird me out, and I think it's just something to do with my mom. My mom, like, heavily believes in this stuff. She's claimed she's like seen her mom, like at her grave and stuff when she goes to visit for her birthday, or like felt like a presence and stuff like that. But we got a Ouija board one time.
Oh shit.
Or they did. I was not. I didn't participate in this. And they went downstairs, and first off, I was like, okay, if this is real, you probably shouldn't do it in our house. Cause you're
yeah, you might invite something that we don't want.
Right. But they went downstairs, they, like, put the candles up and, like, you know, set up an area. And she said it was her and my dad. They put their fingers on it. Nothing happened, she said, but she just said that, like, after they asked the question, I don't remember what it was, like, is anyone there or whatever, you know? She felt, like, instantly sick to the point of, like, wanting to throw up, like, immediately. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I honestly would try. I would. Because I just personally don't think anything would happen. Or I think that some Ouija boards have something like there's got to be something to it that makes it move, or someone's fucking with. That's what I've always believed.
Yeah, because like in every video on, and I'm pretty sure anyone can look it up. It's like you look up any Ouija board video, it's always like, are you moving it? Oh, I'm not moving. Are you moving? No, I'm not moving. Like someone's fucking moving it. Like, unless I see a video where that shit is, like, fucking zigzagging by itself, then, yeah.
Even then, it's hard to trust videos.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh, no, it's magnets.
Or something, like, who knows?
Yeah.
Movie magic.
The only ghost thing, I mean, because like I said, like, I've done Bloody Mary on 3 separate fucking occasions, and even one of them being somebody, Candyman, which I already knew was fucking... Not real. Oh my god.
Okay, I hate to cut you off.
Ah, no worries.
You just made me think. The only time I feel like I've ever seen anything, like now that I'm older, and it's always turned out to not be real. But have you ever gone for a walk in the dark, like at night?
Oh god. Uh-huh.
And this happens like, I mean like really dark. Not necessarily pitch black because there's like street lights most of the time, but once you go in like the back streets here, there's not as many, you know what I mean? So there's like areas that are like way darker than the others. But I sometimes when I'm walking, not always a ghost, it's usually never a ghost that I think I see, but sometimes I think it's like an animal or something. But like it's weird how shadows or like darkness will make things look a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always thought happens with kids when they say they see ghosts. I always feel like it's something it's usually a lot of times in the dark that this happens with kids.
Yeah.
Not always, but I always feel like something looks wrong, but if you turn the light on or walked up to it, it's like,
it's just a fucking couch outside or some shit.
Yeah, like just things look, and I think it's just your mind, like, it's weird what your mind can do. It can make you think you saw something that isn't what it was, or like it can like turn an image into something else.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that at least paranormal investigators believe is that if ghosts are truly real, they say that's why they target kids more, because they're young, they don't have like the mindset like adults do. They have more what's the fucking word? They have more of a hyperactive imagination than we do, so that's why it's like, oh yeah, that's why you see like in all those horror movies, usually like, oh yeah, I have a friend, he's named Billy, he talks to me and shit like that. And it's like,
if I ever have a kid that says that, I'm moving.
He's Billy. He's in the corner of the room right now. He talks to me.
Well, Jimmy, we're actually gonna move, and Billy has to stay.
and you're gonna talk to a doctor. But they say ghosts more attached to kids because they're more open-minded than we are. When it's like, oh yeah, fucking ghosts.
But yeah, who knows? It's always like a controversial topic, though, with some people, I should say.
Yeah, what can you do?
My problem is like, and I hate doing this to people, but really it's like they'll say they saw something, this or that, and they're like, I swear to God on my life, and it's like, okay, but like, can you prove it? And they're like, how am I supposed to prove it? And it's like, exactly.
There you go.
Again, that's just my viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. If they were real, I don't think you could prove it, but it's just like, I live a life that's very like, if you can't prove it, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Not even just with ghosts, like with anything. Like I hate when people say, and you've probably seen me do this a lot to people, when they'll say like, oh, did you hear that they said this and this is like, we could go to gaming for this, like, they said that Last of Us 2 is coming out this year, and it's like, okay, one, who's they? Who's they? I hate when people use that term when they talk about, like, it's like a fact. They're like, oh, they said that we went to the moon. And it's like, who is they?
Who's they? Like, where'd you get your information from?
But two, it's like, oh yeah, Last of Us 2 is coming out this year. It's like, okay, prove it. Give me the article, link it. I I don't like just like the blanket statements. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
give me something. Like, even if the article turns out not to be real, it's like, okay, well, at least you showed me the article.
Right.
The thing is, I've had people that like will say something in a chat or whatever, and I'll be like, all right, prove it, and then they show me the article, or they prove me wrong, and I'm like, all right, I'm wrong, and you're right, and I'm glad you proved it, because I hate the people that just say air quote facts, and they're like, well, I saw it on the internet, and it's like, dude, you could look it up. Like, if you really believe you're right about this, look it up. It's not that hard. Or if you're wrong, just be like, fuck, I read it wrong or something. Like,
right. And to be honest, I think you were there too at this conversation and seeing that, like, now I'm gonna have the wrong type of people watching this video. But fuck it. Is that, like, remember that debate? This is like, we're going back in time. This is like back in fucking JTV days. Is that, remember that fucking Illuminati believer that I had in chat once? And we got into like a fucking debate for like an hour about like, oh, alright, where are they? Because like I was swearing up and down. I was like, dude, like if I was a member of the Illuminati, alright, they control everything. They have all the money, all the power. They control the entire earth at like itself as a whole. You know, I can just, if I was a top member, I can be like, kill so-and-so, and it'll be done. Why the fuck haven't they taken over yet? And I remember that guy's excuse was like, oh, they're plotting. I'm like, from what I've been told, they've been around since like before fucking, what's his name? Adolf Hitler. They were saying he's supposedly someone who tried to join. So they've been around longer than that. You mean to tell me all the shit that's been going on, you mean to tell me no one's made a fucking move? Like, I would have said, fuck wait, let's fucking do this, man. Let's fucking take over. But, yeah. Just give me facts. Like, oh, they assassinated Kennedy. Okay, are they gonna take over now? I'm waiting. But, that's my 2 cents on the Illuminati, as some people will call them, that I know.
Yeah, but that's like straight up conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff can almost never be proven, though, is the thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a conspiracy. Because it's like, you just have like this like crazy thought out plot to some like weird scenario.
And
but there's no like physical proof to this.
It's like, see 420. 420 lands on a specific day in April. 420 represents weed, but 420 is also Hitler's birthday. So in that case, it's just like a whole bunch of shit. Dude, I love seeing people like having shit mapped out and all that. I'm like, dude, you're fucking... I appreciate the fucking diagram you made. Oh, it's so good. What can you do?
Well, you see, Hitler actually, the room he killed himself in, there was a rat in that room, which signifies that rats are actually Nazis.
So rats are undercover Nazis. So that means there's Nazis in New York because they're overfested with rats. Yep. Like, see, they're Nazis, but see, they were working on gene splicing. That's why the rats in New York are so fucking big.
Yeah, that's why if you live in a basement apartment in New York, the rats are they're your landlord. You know, they just come in when they want.
They own it.
Yeah, hey, we need your fucking rent, eh?
Yeah, the rats just coming.
Coming in fucking anyway. Gonna eat your pizza.
Yeah.
You know?
Fucking, oh, it's nice of you to leave food out for me. Yeah. Oh my god.
Dude, that would suck. Have you ever seen one of those?
What?
Basement apartments in New York?
No. I'm scared.
They're awful.
They're that bad?
Huh?
They're that bad?
Yeah, really. Well, most of them, from what I understand. Like, I've seen pictures, or like heard people talk about like living in basement apartments. I actually didn't even know that was a thing until I watched... I don't know if this is a basement apartment specifically, but I watched Scott Pilgrim. And they live in like... I don't know if it's a basement apartment, but in the movie, there's like the upstairs apartment, and they live downstairs in like the fucking... what would be like a garage, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a whole apartment. It's like a one-room apartment. And I was like, wait, is stuff like that real? And then, like, basement apartments come up, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's like a real thing? I don't think it's common in most places. I guess, like, places like New York and just, like, these heavily populated cities.
Mm.
That would suck, though. I can't see any good scenario with that.
No, absolutely not.
But, like, the crazy thing is, like, a lot of people that live in those probably just accept it at this point.
You're like, fuck it. I
Yeah,
guess,
well,
I guess, like, when you don't have a lot of money or options, you're just like, fuck it, fuck these rats, I don't give a shit. I'll set some traps, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It just makes me think of, like, cities as a whole, like, how different they live, and it's, like, crazy in general to me, because, like, I live more in, like, the country. So, like, anytime I go to D.C., and, like, when I went to the Shake Shack, and, like, there was, like, every seat was taken. Did I tell you about this?
I don't think you have.
So we went to a Shake Shack, me and Adrian, when we saw Dream Theater. They have amazing, I think it's called, like, a Smoke Shack burger or something. It was really good. But we went there, and we were like, yeah, well, these are for here, not to go. And once we walk to the other side, like, we're just walking around waiting, and we were like, oh, we fucked up. Because there's, like, probably, like, 30, they're relatively small places. There's probably, like, 30, 20-some people in there. Every seat was taken, and they even have these, like, window, like, shelf things where you can eat and stand, and all of those were, like, there was people full, like, at everything. But then there were also probably, like, 10, 15 people just standing up and eating, because, like, there's no room.
Hmm.
And, like, I've never encountered something like that here. Like, every time we've gone out to eat, there's always room, or whatever. Like, we've never been somewhere packed. Now, there are places here that do get packed, of course, like, what's it called? Like a Texas Steakhouse? Is that the name of the restaurant?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Those get packed quite often, but it's like a very specific place that'll get packed. Like, I feel like a Shake Shack is like just a common place. So, we were in there, and Adrian and I get our food. We actually went outside to eat, and we were like the only ones because it was like windy as fuck and it's kind of cold. But we're like, there's nothing else to do. But we're just like talking. We're like, they're just used to this. Like, that's crazy to me. And I mean, it makes sense when you live there because you just have to deal with it. But it's just like, coming from where we're from, it's like,
all right, you're like, what the fuck?
Right, I just can't.
Yeah, I mean, I could never stand up. Like, I like to sit and enjoy my food.
Yeah, well, I was telling Adam. By the way, you need to talk to him to exchange numbers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I was telling him that when we go, if we I recommended the Shake Shack, depending on how close one is. If not, we can just go to some random place. But I was saying we should get our food to go and just eat in the car because it's too stupid to even deal with that. And maybe if it feels nice out, we could eat outside, I guess. But yeah, I was like, when Adrian and I, as soon as we got our food, I literally looked at him and was like, we fucked up. We should have got these to go and like walk back to the car or something, or just found one of the random fucking seated areas outside that a bunch of places have. Blended in. But yeah, I don't know. I just can't imagine living in that environment. But like the crazy thing though was when we left the show, the Dream Theater show, empty. All of DC, like all the streets, there was like no one. And I was like, God, it's so weird how like it's like a switch. It's like as soon as the fucking sun goes down, everyone's like, "Good sun,
run!"
Go! Yeah. Pretty much.
Like the fucking purge starts, everyone just scrambles and goes home.
There was like no cars or anything. It was very like quiet because we had, common common in cities, to those who don't know, you usually find a parking lot or a parking garage, and you park your car there instead of on the side of the road. And then, so we had to walk back because we had to walk like a block to get to the place. And as we're walking back, it was just like super empty. And it was funny because there was like one or two times where we went across the street and we saw like a car or two, and we were gonna wait for the signal to say, to let you go walk, and there were people just going because there was only like a car or two, and I was like, we look like fucking tourists, dude. It's like we do not look like locals at all right now. We've lost our disguise.
We're not. That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, we don't blend in at all right now. But yeah, the city's always interesting to me.
It is pretty interesting. It's an interesting place.
Again, because I'm a country boy. Don't really go to cities often. I usually drive through them to go to like a concert, and we end up, somewhere else. So it's just interesting. I'm not one of those people though that like, when we were in DC, we definitely saw some like people that look like tourists, like very obvious, like they're taking pictures of like,
the boring buildings.
Yeah, or like the monument and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't think anything's wrong with that, obviously, but you look at that and you're like, they're probably, visiting. Because I imagine the normal people are like, oh, fucking stupid ass monument. Just like, whatever.
Seen it.
But when I go to places like this, I'm not one of those people that's like, ooh.
Like, see, kids, that's the Washington Monument.
Right. Like, I've never been like that. But I definitely, while we're going through it, I just think to myself, like, it's like a different world is what it feels like. Like, I try not to show it, but in my head, I'm just like, this is a whole different, like, place. Whole different environment. People walk fast. And I typically walk kind of slow. And I don't know, just the way people acted, like that we were walking by on the streets.
I'm walking here.
I'm fucking walking over here. It's just different, like, attitudes and just, like, lifestyles, so.
Yeah.
It's just a very interesting thing.
New York is super weird. I didn't
encounter one person that was really nice, though. Because, they say people in cities are assholes.
Yeah, they are assholes.
When we parked, I had to piss really badly. And, like, if you're driving through Washington, there's, like, you're not going to be able to stop and go piss somewhere because you're in the middle of, like, hour-long traffic. And there's nowhere to pull over because all the, like, sidewalk parking spots are probably taken.
Or they're limited. You can only be in them for a limited time.
Right, so I'm just like, fuck, I have to piss so bad. So we finally park, and I was like, dude, I gotta piss, like, so fucking bad. And he joked and was like, just go in the corner. And I was like, shit if I don't. So I go into the corner. The parking garage, and I start pissing because I'm like, I can't fucking hold it. And someone drives by and honks their horn at me.
That's funny. Hey!
Yeah, they didn't stop or anything. They just honked their horn. And I was like, all right, you want to see my dick?
Here you go, motherfucker. That's funny.
Yeah. Dude, I couldn't hold it.
Maybe he honked your horn because he wanted to see your peen.
Maybe. When we got in the elevator in the parking garage, there was a beautiful lady.
Lady.
Like a business woman. And she Adrian had a very like comic booky sort of jacket. Like I don't remember what's on it, but there's a lot of like just characters, you know what I mean? And we got in, and she was like, "Oh, hey, I like your jacket." And,
he's like, "Yeah."
And I was like, "Hey, you asked for a number, dude." No, I'm just kidding. But I was like, okay, well, that's nice. At least the first person we interacted with was, nice at least.
Better than my first interaction in New York. I had to fucking deal with a goddamn con artist.
Oh yeah, you did go to New York. I've never been to New York.
Yeah, that was like the worst first impression New York has ever given me. I mean, I'm pretty sure New York's a lot nicer, but man, that was a bad first impression in New York.
I personally don't ever want to go to New York. New York City, I should say. I don't know. That's just how I am. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people, especially foreigners, that are like, land of opportunity.
Land of opportunity, my ass.
They think of, like, New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big Apple. But, like, I don't know. Anything I've ever seen of New York City, I'm just like, I don't know why you want to go there. Like, why do people want to visit? I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Didn't even get a chance to try New York pizza yet either. I was very disappointed.
I'd rather go to another country. Like, I'd rather go to, like, Japan or Germany.
Yeah.
Than New York. I want to go to, like, there are states I want to go to, though. I want to go to Colorado.
Yeah, you
for
do.
no particular reason.
Yeah.
I just want to visit.
Yeah, just visit.
No, besides that, Colorado does seem like a really nice kind of nature-y. Like, I know hiking is, like, really nice there and stuff like that. My ideal state I would like to live in is Washington.
A Washington state?
Yeah. Like, outside of Oregon.
Yeah. Dude, you can go to, like, the first ever Starbucks.
Washington or Oregon, something like that.
That's where Starbucks started.
I have never been to a Starbucks, actually.
You've never been to a Starbucks, dude?
Well, I've never been and got something for myself, no.
Dude, you gotta get you a Java chip frappuccino, my dude.
I'm not that into coffee.
They got iced teas there. They got like a mango peach
Why the fuck
tea.
would you go to a Starbucks? That's like Adam when he was saying we were talking about Domino's and he was like, was it Domino's? He was like, they have good sandwiches, and I was like, who the fuck sandwich? Like, that's weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they sell it, but who the fuck goes to like a pizza place and gets a sandwich? So, like, when I think Starbucks, like, I like coffee though. Like, it's not that I never drink coffee, but I know that like you drink coffee like every morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like you drink coffee a lot. You know, a lot of other people we know drink coffee. There was a point last year where it was like every morning and before every stream. And I didn't like slow down because I was like, oh, I feel tired or burnt out. I just didn't. My problem is with like energy drinks and coffee or anything like that, it has no effect on me.
Like you don't feel any difference. You're just like,
No, like the only thing I might feel different is like if like you know how when you're really tired you like feel it behind your eyes.
Yeah.
If I drink like an energy drink, that feeling goes away, but I'm not like I'm just like, oh, okay. Guess I'm not tired anymore. Like, I feel the exact same.
It's a living.
So it kind of sucks because, and I know there are people, of course, a lot of people that drink coffee for like the flavor and the taste and stuff, which that makes sense. But to me, if I'm gonna drink like an energy drink or a coffee, I feel like it's because I'm tired, but they don't have an effect on me that much. So then I'm like, there's no point.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do anything for me. But I also think I just need to try a different roast. Because I feel like if I found one I just liked in general, I'd probably drink coffee more.
Yeah.
Like, the coffees I've had, I'm like, it's good, and I can drink it. It's not like I'm like, oh, God, it's so gross. I don't mind it, but I'm not like, God, I need more. Keep me.
Go to my vein. Hey, Simon, chill out.
I just drink water all the time.
Alright, everyone, just ignore the noise you hear in the background.
Sammy.
Simon's like super hyped up, man. He made a beeline for that fucking
coffee.
window. Yeah, Simon had coffee. I give my cats coffee in the morning.
You actually put coffee in their water bowls.
Yeah.
Dude,
I just stick coffee grounds in the water and just let them go to town. No, well, knowing my cats, they probably just sniff it and walk away. They're like, oh, okay.
What if they drank it though? You think they'd like flip the fuck out? It'd be like what? Like that's like the equivalent of if they had like catnip. Oh my god! Have you ever given Simon catnip?
It's just don't care.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh,
it does not affect him. Like, cause normal, like you think if you give a cat catnip, they'll be like, oh fuck, I gotta be all over this area where I. Cause like I've tried like the actual stuff, and then there's actually like a spray kind of it, and like
usually they go apeshit.
Yeah, no, they don't go apeshit. Simon or Munch don't go apeshit. Like they'll go over there and sniff that area and hang out there. Like they'll just like if I spray if I spray their bed.
Like the secondhand smoke of weed. They're just like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, like
I'll
I'll
like to smoke and I just like to smell it.
Yeah. Like I'll spray their bed. Like Munchkin, for example, if I spray her bed, she'll sniff it and then she'll just sit there for like 20 minutes, just hanging out, fine. Chilling. But they don't go like, oh my god, fucking catnip, yeah. They don't do that for some reason.
I don't actually even know.
I think my cats are broken.
What is catnip? Is it like a plant?
That's a very good question. I don't even know what I'm giving my own animals.
I don't actually know what it is, honestly. I just know it's like the equivalent of cat weed. Or that's what I've heard.
Who knows? The government's plotting. They're turning the frogs gay. That's still a great fucking clip. The catnip is making the cats gay. Oh my god. So when it comes down to YouTube drama, if no one else has heard about it yet, oh yeah, that's another thing too. Fucking H3H3, fucking one of the OGs of YouTube. They showed I guess like some type of show, I guess, where a DJ had like a KFC, you know, like one of those big heads that you could put on your head of a character or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was like a DJ with a big Colonel Sanders head. It was like a show or whatever. Keep in mind, his podcasts were like fucking 2 to 4 hours long. And KFC fucking blocked his shit because of that 2-minute part of them like just showing like a DJ wearing a Colonel Sanders thing.
Wow.
And he was super pissed. He was like, 2 minutes and it was under fair use. Fuck you. I'm like, yeah. I truly think like their copyright thing is blocked, but he has a theory that where it's like it's not even YouTube, it's just like these big fucking businesses. They're just like, if you 2 seconds of anything, block it. We're making money off our shit, and it's like, and like we've talked about this before. It's like, dude, it's fucking free advertisement. Fucking take it. Why do you think some of these indie developers put their games on fucking Xbox for free? You know, they want the free advertisement because it's like, oh, it's a free game. People fucking buy it or get it.
That's like with. I never understood this. Like, Persona came out, and when Persona 5 to be exact, when Persona 5 came out, Atlas was super fucking weird about people streaming the game or making videos. They were like, you can only play up to... So, I don't know if you've watched Persona, Matt, but it goes by like a day-to-day thing. So, like, you know, you play... I don't remember the starting date, but you play each day. So, there's like a calendar and everything. And they said you can make videos and stream up to this certain day, and then after that day, you aren't allowed to anymore. And they got a ton of backlash for that. And then they were like, okay, we're sorry. Now you can only go up to this day a little bit further. And they were like, we really just want people to experience the end on their own and not watch it. So they pushed the stream date a little bit further back, but there was still like a date where they were like, you can't make content past this. So, first off, a lot of big streamers, even like Ezekiel, like a lot of these people, Dan, I think, they were like, fuck you. We're going to play the whole game. And you're not going to stop us. And they didn't really enforce it to anyone, I don't think. But, like, that's weird. Like, if you just don't even say anything and just let people stream it and play your game, I guarantee that, one, you will not get this weird negative opinion of you now that you stated this weird, like, you cannot make content past this day or you're banned.
Yeah.
Like, if you just didn't even say that, one, there wouldn't be, like, this weird negative aura going around now. And two, the game had been out for a year in Japan already. If anyone really fucking cared about the ending, they just look it up.
Pretty much.
Because they did not give that same block to Japanese players, I don't think. But it was out a year in Japan before US. But like, yeah, I don't get that. Or like, how some games are weird about their music in the game when it comes to streaming, or
Legend of Zelda, for example.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, they view it as like, oh, you might be making money from our music, our game. It's like, no, people are not watching the streamer to listen to the game. If I wanted to hear Zelda's music, I would just look up the soundtrack. I don't go watch
Legend of Zelda OST.
Right, like, I don't go to watch a stream of Zelda to listen to music from the game. I would just look it up in a video or something. Like, no one's gonna watch streamers just to hear, like, the music of a game or something. They're not, when people are streaming a game that has, like, a game with weird music like that the devs are, like, weird about it, when they get subs and donations, they're not getting subs and donations because of your fucking music.
They're not, really.
They're getting subs and donations because people like them and they're just playing the game. It's like background. So, like, I think once you start being, like, weird and, like, banning people or, like, DMCAing people and stuff, then you just have a negative view on yourself. Whereas if you just didn't say anything, it would have been fine. The thing is that companies don't understand is when streamers and YouTubers play a game and say it's a really good game, they're basically making them money because people will go and buy that game because now they've seen their favorite streamer or YouTuber play it, and they're like,
exactly,
that game looks pretty fun. Maybe I want to buy it. Instead of being like, no, streaming, bad. And then the people that were going to play it, that they wanted to wait to watch someone, now they're never going to see it. And now they're like, I guess I'll get another game. Or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's a whole weird thing. Like, copyright stuff in general is just like, fuck beyond hell and back.
What can you do?
Especially Star Wars. God forbid you play a fucking Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Or a Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah, because, like, what was it? Hold on, I can actually go look real quick. Because one of the Metal Gear Solid games got, like, fucking...
It was 3 for you, I think.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 fucking different copyright things. Thankfully, they're like... Thankfully, at least all the copyright stuff I have on the gaming channel, they're not, like, too bad. They're just, like... hey, you can't make money off this video, but you can still view it. Like, I'd rather deal with that than, like, just straight up fucking blocking my shit.
The channel's not monetized, is it?
No, it's not. It doesn't even, it never met the requirements, even, like, back in the day.
Right.
Before the ridiculous requirements you have now. Let me see. It's gonna take me a minute to get all the way back down to Metal Gear, because that was a while ago.
I'm still in a copyright Konami.
Let's see, copyright notices. There it is. The second part, the finale. Oh, no, it's 2. WMG for Way to Fall by Star Sailor, I guess. And Konami for audio-visual content for like a minute and a half.
Oh my god.
Keep in mind, the first 2 parts, I mean, the first part of that stream, no copyright. Everything's fine. Keep in mind, it had Snake Eater playing, not even in the background. I literally just let, like, the full intro go. And, nope, none. Snake Eater's fine, but visual audio from that 1 minute part of that 6-hour stream, we can't be making money.
Which part of the game was that?
Let me go back.
That'd be interesting to find out.
Fucking 6 hour, 3 minute, 42 seconds to 6 hours, 4 minutes, and 16 seconds. That part right there was audiovisual content from Konami that they claimed. There was one that had a shit ton. I can't remember. Because I remember I took a picture of it and showed you. I can't remember which one that was.
It wasn't Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi, but obviously that's copyrighted music song. Oh yeah, Crazy Taxi has fucking 4 from songs. It's pretty much the entire fucking video.
Oh, another thing that makes me think of actually is I hate the idea of, because we have to worry about this stuff so much, when we play stuff like GTA, we're like, oh, we gotta turn the radio off.
Yeah.
And that sucks because, like, you know, when people think of GTA, especially like Vice City, for example, what's one of the first things people say? The fucking soundtrack is so good. And you know what they mean by that? They mean the radio. They don't mean like because I don't think the older GTAs really had music when you were in missions and stuff. I know 4 and 5 did.
Yeah, 3 didn't really, unless she was like, 3 had like their own like, but like not like actual music.
Right. So yeah. So like, you know, anytime I hear like Vice City or San Andreas, like one of the first things people will remember is the soundtrack. And like, when you stream those games, sometimes you gotta be like, I gotta turn it off, because you might get muted, or if it was a YouTube video, it might get a copyright claim.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it's, you know, it's copyrighted music, but it just sucks that that's like a thing, because it feels like that's like a big part of the game, is like the music.
Yeah, I agree.
Or, you know, an interesting thing, Quantum Break. Quantum Break actually, because I played that recently through Game Pass, because it was one of those games I had always wanted to play, but I was like, I cannot justify paying for it ever. And it was on Game Pass, and so I played through it. But there was an option, Matt, there was an option in Quantum Break that said, turn off copyrighted music. So what they do is they play like their own alternative music instead of the copyrighted music, which is pretty cool. So like at the end of each chapter or episode, if you will, they play like a copyrighted song. Like there's a Paramore song in there, you know, stuff like that. But I think if you have it turned off, it just plays like some generic music that they made or something like that, or maybe it's silent. But that's interesting. Or
Yeah,
like,
didn't you say Kingdom Hearts did that too for streams?
Kingdom Hearts 3. There's not an option, but Kingdom Hearts 3, when you press in the main menu, if you press Y or triangle, it says before you stream, and basically it says you can't use this game for, like, you have to be playing it if you're streaming it or making a video. You can't just be standing idle and like using the game for the music. Which, I mean, again, who the fuck is gonna do that? If someone's streaming Kingdom Hearts, they're probably playing it. I can't imagine many people are just sitting down listening to music.
Yeah.
If they're streaming or making a video. But that's what it said. And that's cool. I don't know if you actually made a video of it, if you get copyright claims or not. I would hope not, because they give you the warning, and it's like, oh, if I'm not doing it, I should be fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. My streams never got muted. The ones I did at Kingdom Hearts. So the only thing that they're weird about is the intro song, the one with Skrillex, because that's a copyrighted song. But everything else is like their own stuff. I think Dragon Quest said that too, because it's Square Enix. Maybe it didn't. I feel like Dragon Quest said that, but I can't remember. But I like the idea. I think if there's going to be all these weird copyright rules, I think games should start acknowledging streamers and YouTubers and, one, give us the Quantum Break option that just turns off copyrighted music. I think there was another game that did that too, but I can't remember. But that's a good option. They should give us that, or they should do the Kingdom Hearts thing where it's like, hey, before you stream, just
letting you know, like, hey, there's some copyrighted shit in here.
If you're doing this just for the music and you're just sitting idle, only listening to music and stuff, you're probably gonna get copyright claim or something. But if you're playing it, playing through it, you're enjoying it,
have fun.
Well, cool, yeah, and that's cool. I think that's fine. Because the thing is, like, sometimes we could blame the company for, like, the weird copyright stuff, like the Atlas stuff with Persona. But that wasn't with music. That was, like, the actual game. The music is different, and I feel like it's a weird thing where it's probably not directly the company, so it's hard to be, like, with that MGS3 thing with the, like, audio and visual. I wonder who actually would, like, say that you're not allowed to show that or you're not allowed to do that. But I feel like it's probably not directly Konami, but
it's like some dickhead in some department that's like, hey, keep an eye out.
Yeah, probably. Though Konami is assholes, so maybe it was Konami. But, like, most of the time it's usually not directly the company, so it's hard to be like, man, fuck this company.
Yeah.
It's usually just the weird laws. So, like, I think if game companies gave us a warning in the game or an option to turn it off, just kind of being like, hey, we know things are weird. Here's your alternative if you're streaming it or making videos.
Yeah. Because I feel like in this day and age now, they should kind of, like, recognize, like, hey, gaming is a super big thing now versus, early 2000s or even back in the 90s. Like, gaming is, like, gaming's about to be recognized as a fucking sport now for, like, those gaming competitions and shit.
That my view on it is, like, every game that comes out now, there's gonna be somewhere a stream or video of it. I think almost every game. Maybe not every little, like, random little indie game, but especially if you're a company that has a name that we know, Capcom's not gonna release a game that no one makes a video of or no one sees. Square Enix is not going to release a game that no one makes a video of, no one streams, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking Naughty Dog, Rockstar, like, none of these companies that are at least known will make a game, maybe ever at this point, that won't have some sort of content of it. And I feel like they should, they probably know that. They should just start, like, kind of...
Like, hey, gaming's a part of, I can't think of the word, but it's part of our culture now at this point.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, did you hear about the all digital Xbox that came out?
Yeah, that's weird. So, and people are now worried that that's the next Xbox is going to be like that. Which is funny that you mentioned that, because there was an article that came out by someone in PlayStation that talked about the PS5, and they just talked about some of the things, like the hardware with it and whatnot. And they said, one of like the first things they said is it will use disc. I think because of the Xbox that came out, because it's like a slim Xbox One Slim that is like only digital, I think.
Yeah, it's like a slim version, and it's like I think it was like $250. It's supposed to be like cheaper than like some of the Xboxes, but it's like
because that came out, people started to get worried that the new consoles would only be digital purchases.
Yeah,
so.
And there's still like a ton of people that are like, hey, I'd rather buy it on disc, which is true.
Right. But yeah, like they said in the PS5 article, they were like, it'll use disc.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Because like the only reason why majority of my collection is even digital is because I found some good shit on sale for digital. If there's a $60 game on sale for like $20 on digital, I mean,
like
yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Digital games go on sale cheaper than physical.
Yeah.
I just think that digital sales are sometimes less common. Like, things will go on sale for a few bucks here and there or whatever on Amazon or stuff like that all the time. But, like, when they go on sale for, like, holidays or something on digital, they're on sale. You know what I mean? I bought Shadow of War for $12. I don't think it was that cheap physical. Or maybe it was at that point. But, like, that's like, it's fucking $12. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's more a convenience thing for me. Like, a store is so far from me. It's like 30 minutes to a GameStop, 30 minutes back.
Oh, shit.
Or Walmart or whatever. It's all the same distance. So, no matter where I wanted to go, it'd be like 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes back. That's what I used to have to do, before, like, online gaming and all that stuff was popular. I'd have to, like, after school on, like, a fucking Tuesday or Friday, like, before the day before, I'd have to be like, Dad, when you pick me up from school, can we go get a new game? It just is coming out tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
And, that sucks. That's fucking lame. Like, I think, like, people that have physical copies and collections of stuff are really cool. Like, Adrian has, like, a whole shelf of, like, all the stuff he has, and I'm like, that's cool as fuck. I wish I had the patience for that, because I don't. And I mean, you could argue now, in this day and age, like, you could just order it off of Amazon or something, but...
Yeah, if you want a physical copy, pretty much.
I'm at the point now, though, where if I wanted a game on release day, I want to play it at midnight. I don't want to wait for the fucking delivery.
Yeah, remember back you had to fucking wait in line at fucking GameStop to get a new game on release date? And then you're even lucky if they even have enough in stock?
Well, usually if you call ahead of time and pre-order, they make sure you have your copy. But, yeah, I mean, that's like the traditional midnight release, but I'm like so like used to now, I just fucking pre-order a game and I guess you might not have seen it, but on PlayStation, when you pre-order a game, it shows up on like your homepage, and if you click it, it gives you a countdown of when it comes out. So when it's like the day before, like I usually don't pre-order a game till like 2 days before. I don't know, I'm weird like that. Like, even if I know for sure 100%, like if Last of Us 2 got announced, well, I'd probably pre-order that one immediately, maybe. But like, if Last of Us 2 got announced, a release date, it's on the store, I probably wouldn't pre-order it till the day before. I don't know why. Like, it's not like it matters.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'll do is, like, at like 11:50, which I'll probably do this I think I'm gonna get Days Gone. I'm gonna bite the bullet. I think it'll be fun. I don't think it'll blow me away, but I'm just kind of like,
it'd be a fun open world zombie killing game.
Yeah, So my hopes are not that high. So I think it will probably be more fun than I'm thinking. But I'm just like, yeah, zombie game. I'm a sucker for zombie games. But what I do is like, say I pre-order Days Gone. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, and it comes out Friday. It's now Sunday. The Sunday before. I'll probably pre-order it Wednesday or Thursday, and then at 11:50 Thursday, what I do is I just open up the countdown, and when you do that on PlayStation, it automatically launches when it's available. So I just sit there for like the last 10 minutes. Like,
Come on,
right,
come on,
but like,
come on.
if I go to a GameStop for a midnight release, or like, I order, I have to one GameStop midnight release, wait till I get back home, and then install it. Keep that in mind too nowadays. You don't just start a game, you have to install it, even if you get physical. So you have to wait even longer, especially if it's a game like Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2 is like 108 gigs.
Yeah.
That is one exception where I pre-ordered that like a week before, because I was like, this has to download.
Yeah.
But so if you do it the GameStop way or midnight release wherever store, you have to come back home, install. You're still not ready to play until it's done, and by then, if you work, you probably aren't gonna get to play long before you have to go to sleep or something, Or if you do it the Amazon way, you might be one of the rare few lucky people that get it a day early, which isn't common, but it happens. But if you're not one of those people, you get it like midday the next day, and like I don't know, if you're someone who's on the internet a lot, it might not bother you if you're not on the internet a lot, but if you are, like most of us, you've probably already spoiled like the first 5 hours of the game at that point, because everyone's fucking
Right.
It's like a big game or whatever. I just would rather pre-order digital. It's more a convenience thing. I'd rather just pre-order digital and be like, it's midnight, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Versus having to wait or whatever. There was also I don't think they straight up said it in the PS5 article, but they like alluded to that it'll be backwards compatible with PS. So that's good news.
Yeah.
If it is. That also might mean if you don't get a PS4 by then, Matt,
I'm better off just getting a PS5, yeah, and just get
and
PS4 games.
Get the PS4 games, and they'd probably be cheaper. I hope so. I said for a while that even if a PS5 comes out, I do not want to get one because I just saw no point. I have so many PS4 games to beat, and I have like a Switch now,
Mm-hmm.
But then if it's backwards compatible, then I might be like, okay, well, maybe I will get it then, because then
You could trade your PS4 for the PS5, technically.
I could do that, and also I wouldn't lose those games. I could still beat them. Like that's my main reason for not wanting a PS5 is that there's so many PS4 games I still gotta play and beat. I see no point in getting the next console, because then I'm just gonna make an even. First, I'm gonna spend it's gonna be $500, by the way.
Yeah.
So first, I would have spent $500 just to get more games I'm not gonna play. I might as well just wait. But if it's backwards compatible, then it's like, okay, well, I can just put those games. I probably won't sell my Pro, by the way. That is a good idea, but no, the old PS4. No, they might have a deal where they're like, trade your PS4 in.
And get like half off a PS5 or whatever.
Maybe. I'd maybe sell the other one, but I don't think I'll sell the Pro. And apparently in like a year or two, there's going to be a better Switch that comes out, like a Switch Pro sort of thing. I'm just like, well, fuck you guys. I just got a Switch.
Damn it!
Though, to be fair, a Pro version of a Switch seems kind of pointless, because every game's kind of intended to run the way it does on a Switch. The only game I feel like I know that people would really want on like a Pro version of a Switch is Zelda, because get this is weird. Breath of the Wild, docked. So docked means you're playing on your TV and the Switch is in the dock.
Uh-huh.
Zelda docked, it runs 30 FPS, right? But docked, it tends to drop more, especially if there's like fire or a lot going on. You might notice some frame drop.
Mm-hmm.
But get this. play Zelda mobile, or undocked, however you want to say it, there's little to no frame rate drop at all.
Huh.
How weird is that? Yeah, or I guess handheld would be the way you'd say it. There's like little.
Oh, and you play on the little screen of the Switch? Ah.
There's like little to no frame rate drop. That's really weird to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to Zelda yet because I got so into Sekiro and I platinumed it. And I just didn't want to play two big games at once, you know? But there was a point, because I have like 20, I put like 20 hours into it, like, really fast. Because I was playing the shit out of it. But I would play it in bed sometimes, you know? That's like, as weird as it sounds, I feel like the best thing about Switch is just playing in bed. But I was talking about this with Adrian. A lot of my games on my wish list for Switch are turn-based games. I feel like the Switch excels at turn-based games because you can... I feel like turn-based games are the best handheld games. Because, like, sometimes I'll play Zelda handheld and sometimes I'll go sit in the couch and, like, play with the dogs or just be in the living room and, like, talk to my mom while playing. Or in my bed. But, like, I hate looking at Zelda on such a small screen because it's kind of weird. But, like, I have Into the Breach, which is a turn-based roguelike, and like, that's perfect in bed, dude. That's like, this is prime Switch right here. Playing a turn-based, tactical turn-based game in bed. It's a roguelike. The screen is like the perfect size for this kind of game. There's no reason to play it on the TV, if I don't want to. And like I have Wargroove on there as well, which is like another turn-based game. I have Darkest Dungeon. Or I don't have Wargroove. It's on my wish list, I mean. So is Civ and Darkest Dungeon and like a bunch of turn-based stuff. I was almost considering, Matt, getting Final Fantasy on Switch as well.
Oh, what, Final Fantasy X?
I think 10's on the Switch.
Yeah,
right?
It's on Xbox. Yeah. You actually probably would actually have a lot of fun with that, like, chilling in bed, because it's the battle system's pretty laid back.
I'm saying. It's like the perfect. Well, I know I've played Final Fantasy X before. Like I just think it's like the perfect game or perfect console for that type of game. Because it's like
the fucking Legacy of the Duelist comes out on the Switch.
Oh man,
dude, Yu-Gi-Oh on your fucking bed.
That'd be awesome. But it's just like perfect for that. Yeah, I don't know. I considered it, but I was like, I just don't have money for all that now. Plus, I know you were getting it, or you now have it, so I was like, I might as well just play it on Xbox. 'Cause I might play it, I don't know. Oh, Persona 5, I think, is supposed to come out on Switch. I know that's, like, big rumor right now, and, like, apparently there's leaks and stuff. So, even though I have Persona 5, I will 100% buy it on the Switch. Maybe not on a release, because I don't know how much it would be. But you're crazy if you think I won't get fucking Persona 5 on the Switch and play that in bed. That, again, that is the perfect Switch game. And it's a turn-based game. You know, it's just like, that's perfect. I was considering bringing my Switch when me and Adam go up to, with DC with you guys, but I was like, I don't like the idea of taking it out of my house.
Yeah, not in DC anyway.
No,
you want to fucking bump into someone at the zoo or like fucking kids running around.
I don't mean walk around with that. I mean,
ride. Oh yeah, like leaving it in the car. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
I'm just like, but yeah, Persona 5 would be great. I think the next two games I'm getting, and I'm trying to be better about like not buying every goddamn game, or just like, I have a problem where when games go on sale, I just like, all right, fuck, it's 50% off, I'm buying it.
Right?
Trying to get better about that sometimes, because I have every game now. I feel like I have everything. But I'm gonna get Days Gone, I think, and then nothing else until Mario Maker 2, which is like June, I think. Dude,
Mario Maker's gonna be pretty fun.
I cannot wait for Mario Maker 2. And, like, I really hope that Game Grumps gets back into it like they did with the first one, because I would love to, like, download the, like, you know, when they do those levels, you get the chance to see them and then download them and play them. Like, I feel like if Game Grumps doesn't play them, I will never see Ross's levels or anything, and I would love to play Ross's levels.
I would imagine Ross would probably post the codes to his levels. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that.
Yeah, but I don't, like, follow Ross on anything that I would see them other than if Game Grumps played them. Like, I follow him on Twitch, but I just don't really watch him that much. I don't know. But I would love to play Ross's levels and just shit like that.
And just get overly angry. Fuck you, Ross!
Fuck you, Ross. Yeah.
Or as they would do, God damn it, Ross.
We're not friends anymore.
But we're gonna go ahead and call it. I appreciate you hanging out with me, buddy. But this has been a very... Oh, shit. It's been almost 2 hours. This is a lot of editing. This has been another episode of It's a Matter of Fact. And... Oh, it's the last few seconds. So click into these links you see on the screen. And I will see you guys... God damn it, Simon. Next video.